Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your April 2026 monthly horoscope. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Justina, and if you're a returning viewer, welcome back and thank you for joining me today. So here today we are going to look at the astrology of April, and I'll tell you how the events of this month will influence your life on a deeper level. I follow Western astrology, tropical zodiac, so welcome. All right, so we start with a full moon in Libra happening on the 2nd of April at 12 degrees of Libra. So here, where is Libra in your birth chart? First of all, it's in your 11th house. So this is the area of friendships, groups, communities you belong to, your network, but also anything to do with your term goals, plans for the future. So this full moon is bringing to light these patterns and themes. But at the same time, since full moons bring that sense of culmination and awareness here, something in your social circle might be coming to a turning point, for example, to light. Now, bear in mind, this is happening at 12 degrees, so also have a look if you have any placements in your birth chart at 12 degrees of Libra, then this means you'll be even under a greater influence of this full moon. Also, keep an eye on the remaining cardinal signs. That's, of course, Aries, Capricorn, and Cancer, give or take 3 degrees. So generally could bring into light a friendship of yours. Maybe there is a situation that needs to be addressed. This could be also connected to an end, a culmination of a project, perhaps some teamwork, group project you've been involved in. Maybe this is about taking a closer look at your long-term aspirations. Maybe you're redefining, letting go of what doesn't align anymore. Bear in mind, Libra is connected to balance, harmony. Anything out of balance becomes much more visible during the full moon, under the full moon energy. All right, so at the same time, this full moon, if you feel like you don't have your own community, then this full moon could increase that urge to belong to one, to experience that sense of belonging. Now, here, generally, this full moon also brings clarity about certain connections, about certain friendships, associations in your life, whether they align with your evolving self or not, whether something needs to change. Now, on the 9th of April, Mars, the planet of action, drive, courage, motivation, enters Aries. Mars is a ruler of Aries, so it's a very comfortable placement for Mars. Mars will be joining your 5th house energies. You've got Saturn, Neptune, Chiron here at this point. And Mars will, of course, also cross the degree of that 0 conjunction, which took place on February the 20th between Saturn and Neptune. Generally, Mars, it's a very dynamic energy, very energizing, that can really inspire you, motivate you, stimulate you to follow or engage in some creative projects. This could also bring more passion and more romance into your relationship as well. But this energy also pushes you to engage in some hobbies, interests, to follow your passions. So this could see you perhaps enjoying some activities that bring you happiness, that bring you joy. There's more stimulation with children. If you have children, you might also see that they might feel more energizing. Maybe this could push you to change your bedtime routine, adjust for example, if you feel like they are too energized at night. Maybe they need different structures, what I'm saying. All right, so that's here Mars. Now, Mars will also align with Neptune on the 13th of April. So this is a very imaginative day, a very artistic. It would be a great day to use to go to a theater, opera, a gallery. It's not really a good day for working on any problem-solving, strategic, analytical tasks, because Neptune can blur the details. It can make generally difficult to focus on something very, very specific, analytical. It's a good day for enjoying something of a creative, artistic nature. That's the 13th. It can also make it difficult to stay grounded in the reality at times as well. All right, so on the 15th, Mercury, the planet of communication, your mindset, thinking processes, enters Aries, joining Mars, Saturn, Neptune, Chiron. So the sun, of course, we forgot about the sun. So very energizing energy that can generally bring a lot of conversations, thoughts, ideas about creativity, about some interesting projects, interests. If you are a freelancer, this could mean that perhaps you'll be working on some intellectually stimulating project. it's a good time for engaging in. There's a lot of mental stimulation. You need to engage in some mentally stimulating activities, but at the same time, this could also see you. Generally, this could see you having this strong need to share your ideas, your concepts with others, or having to communicate them. There isn't that need for self-expression when Mercury is in the 5th house, but at the same time, with so much happening in the 5th house, there's that need to express your individuality in one way or another. Now, the 16th brings the Sun and Chiron conjunction, on the other hand, in Aries in your 5th house. When Chiron is involved, Chiron is an asteroid, the wounded healer, which is connected to our wounds, the wound we experienced or accumulated during the earlier stage of life, which we heal throughout our life and then very often use as our greatest gifts. And this is when we can use them also to help others, is what I want to say. But the Sun conjoins with Chiron. The Sun is connected to our ego, vitality. And when the Sun conjoins with Chiron in 16th, this could bring up some unhealed emotions, feelings from the past, connected to the moments where perhaps we felt misunderstood, when we didn't feel seen for who we truly are. So pay attention to your thoughts, to your feelings around this time. When these more vulnerable moments, emotions come up during this day, give yourself a chance to process them, because this is your chance to heal them and release them. Now, on the 17th, there is a new moon in Aries happening at 27, 28 degrees of Aries. So a late degree of a new moon often indicates a moment of urgency. You might feel like you're running out of time. It could manifest in this way, but at the same time, new moons are a time when the moon is dark. So we don't yet know where our intentions will take us. So it's a good time for setting intentions, for planting seeds for the future, but not necessarily for making any big and drastic decisions. This is happening in your 5th house. So this could see you starting a new project or a new hobby, for example, or a new passion. This could be also connected to your romantic relationship or your romantic life. So overall, hobbies, interests, something fresh, something new, something that generally brings you that sense of joy, which isn't always easy to achieve with Saturn transiting your 5th house. So this is your chance also to think about what kind of activity or project could bring a little bit of or more spark into your life, into your reality. Something where you could show off a little bit of your individuality, something that could help you to express or give you an opportunity to express yourself creatively, artistically, for example, as well. Now, between the 19th and the 20th, we've got a series of some serious alignments that involve Mars, Saturn, and this is happening very close to this new moon, which will also influence this new moon's energy. Now, of course, Mars, Mercury, Saturn, they are all in the sign of Aries, and they will form a series of conjunctions between these 2 days. So these energies bring a sense of seriousness, a sense of responsibility as well. This is about structure, order. This isn't a time to take shortcuts. Here, think about any projects or ideas or milestones that you're trying to reach. Saturn especially reminds you that you need to take more of a structured, strategic approach to anything that you want to take off the ground. But at the same time, this could be also an important time when you will be making some important, significant life decisions related to your direction, the direction that you're taking in your life, to your personal goals, to your romantic side of your life. So think about whatever that you decide, whatever that you'll be dealing with around this new moon. Think long term. Decisions that you take around this time, they will likely have a long-lasting impact and influence. Now, on the 20th, the Sun moves into Taurus. So we start the Taurus season on the 20th until the second part of May. So this also immediately brings a shift of energy. We are moving into the 6th house influences from the 5th house energies, themes, patterns. The 6th house is the house of hard work. And this is the house of our daily life, daily responsibilities, daily duties, our work environment, our health and any illnesses, or a sense of burnout, which we often experience if we don't establish a healthy balance between our work and our private life. for example. So after a couple of weeks of that creative, inspirational energy, this Taurus season wants you to focus on more practical aspects of your life. So this is a good time here, Taurus season, for reorganizing your schedule. This is a time of self-improvement. This is a good time for generally for analyzing, for evaluating your daily life, your work and life balance, to see which aspects of your daily reality, of your work sphere, lack consistency, or perhaps they seem disorganized. What blocks you from being fully or more productive on a regular daily basis? This is a good time for addressing any habits that perhaps don't serve you anymore. A good time for looking at your diet, at your health. Perhaps you'll be having some health checkups, appointments. This is about bringing more structure to your daily life. It's a good time for building routines that can serve you and can improve your sense of productivity on daily basis. On the 24th, we've got a Venus and Uranus conjunction happening at 29 degrees of Taurus. So here, this is generally just a couple of days before Uranus moves into Gemini. So what's happening here? Venus and Taurus conjunction at 29 degrees. So this alignment, this conjunction brings a certain degree of unpredictability, surprising energy as well in your area of work, daily life, daily responsibilities. The way this could manifest, because with Uranus, things happen out of the blue unexpectedly. This is a time, a day to be flexible, keep your schedule light, because things might change in a pretty unexpected way, but at the same time remain adaptable and open to change. This could indicate that perhaps you might receive some sudden opportunities at your work. Perhaps this could be connected to some changes to your schedule, to your daily duties, responsibilities. Maybe this is about some new and innovative ideas as well that could help you to establish more structure in your routine. Uranus is connected to anything modern, technology, media. Maybe this is also connected to some new technological devices that for your work, for example, this could be the case as well. All right, so here on the 26th, a big event of the year, of the month, Uranus enters Gemini. So we had a little taste of this energy last year between July and November. And this year, this is happening on a much larger scale. It will influence our lives for the next 7 years. This year, Uranus will reach the 4th degree of Gemini. So this is happening in your 7th house of relationships, one-to-one connections, partnerships. And this is a really interesting dynamic because this is a major long-term shift for you, Sagittarius, in your area of relationships, connections, one-to-one dynamics overall. For many, this could manifest as a major phase of a liberation from stagnation, from connections, contracts, alignments, relationships that perhaps hold you back. They don't serve you any growth. So Uranus can bring a sense of instability to connections, relationships, contracts that have already been on unstable flow overall. Uranus generally breaks patterns that are not working, that are stagnant, that have lost their purpose. This sort of energy encourages authenticity. So during this time, you might attract some unexpected individuals, relationships into your life. New types of relationships might appeal more than ever before. And at the same time, this transit could also indicate that you will need greater independence, more autonomy. Any restricting patterns, anything that holds you back within these one-to-one dynamics will become very prominent and will push you towards some changes, shifts as well. This transit can bring a certain degree of instability in relationships that have already been in a difficult phase, but at the same time, it brings new perspectives as well. Overall, here with Uranus transiting your 7th house in Gemini, this is also about more authenticity, more freedom within your relationships. So on this note, I wish you a productive month. Thank you very much, Sagittarius, and until the next, bye for now.